welcome back to the On the Slab Horror Show, the show that we bring to you each and every week. Why we do this on a Friday night, ladies and gentlemen? Read it right, because the t-shirt says it. Friday night is horror night. The slogan's so good, we got it on a t-shirt. It was good having King back over the last couple of weeks. Unfortunately, that pesky thing called work appears again, and he can't make this unfortunate interview. So you're stuck with me. You're stuck with me. This is filmmaker Adam Newman. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well, and yes, it's finally started to cool down here. So it's a nice night on my porch.
Even the King will agree with me here. That's too close to Patriots country.
Yeah, listen, I'm right there with you.
Ironically, King, our other co-host, is a Raiders fan, which I feel
Oh,
even
is
more
he?
sorry for. He
Yeah, I
is.
was gonna say you two got to be battling with each other all the time.
Same
Yeah.
in football though. He's a Chelsea fan and I'm a United fan, so
Oh, it's perfect.
we
I
we
love it.
clash on everything.
It's
Uh,
that's good podcasting though.
yeah, the banter does be real. But
Yeah.
that's enough about us. Adam, why don't you tell us a little bit about how you got started in the filmmaking world?
Sure. So I started writing and storytelling when I was very young, and I thought I was going to be a playwright for a long time. It was novelist first, and then
Okay.
kind of playwright. My first love was I thought I was going to be a professional NFL player, but we'll get past that.
I
Um,
mean, that's every kid's dream, really, isn't
of
it? Either you're going to
course,
be in the NFL or over here, it's going to be a professional footballer or
right,
some
right.
kind of sports star.
I was, and because I was a decent athlete, but the unfortunate thing is I'm not very tall, and I wasn't very big, and I broke very easily. So once that started to go away, it was about storytelling, and I wanted to be a novelist, and then it became a playwright, and then I was 19 years old, and I saw the movie Magnolia, the Paul Thomas Anderson movie, and that's when I
Great movie.
went, yeah, and it was one of those things where I went, oh my God, you can make movies like this. I have to do that for the rest of my life, and so I've kind of devoted the rest of my life to doing that. And I've kind of had two lives with my movies. I started a production company with a buddy back way, way in the day when I was in my early 20s. And then we ended up we had a director breakup just because he was going off and doing things with his life. He was married with kids and all that stuff. And then I kind of separated and did my own thing. And since then, it's probably been about 10 years now that I've been making features and shorts. It was originally But It Did Happen Productions, and we morphed into Dreamscape Productions when another person kind of came on board, and then we added another. And so now we're a filmmaking company. That's my full-time job. I get to make movies for a living, which is great.
So you've gone from the two extremes. You want to be a sports star getting clattered every week to
Yes.
directing films, which are probably the two best jobs you could probably want.
I would say they absolutely are. And it's a shame I wasn't able to be in the NFL, but I'll accept director as a backup. Nice
I
backup.
mean, when you look at that, really though, if you went to the NFL, your career could be as short as a year. It could be as long as, on average, what, 8 years, 10 years at best, or you could
Oh
be doing.
yeah. Yeah, the average NFL career, I think they say is 2.5 years. I'm 36 now, so my career would have been over for a long time. So
Do you know what I mean? Like now
it's
you've
okay.
got a full time career as a director or a
Yeah, which
filmmaker.
is which is, it's awesome. I'm very excited that it's taken a long time to get to this point, but I do get to wake up every day and attempt to tell stories, which is very cool.
So you're kind of doing what you wanted of being a playwright,
Yeah,
just
no,
in a
I
different way.
listen. It's me and my buddies who are the producers, oftentimes of some of my movies. Um, we say that we're in the best timeline. We every time when we're making a movie, we go, we're in the best. There's no way that we could be doing anything better in any other universe. So we'll take it.
What if you were loaded?
Well, you know what? Maybe it's not the best timeline, but it's pretty close. I should say that. It'd be
Don't
nice
worry,
to make a little bit
I've
more.
got answers for absolutely everything.
That's great.
Um, but like I like the change of the name there to Dreamscape Productions.
Sure,
I think it's a um, really catchy title that you'd see on the front of a film. Obviously, you've got the
sure.
likes of New Line and stuff that have their own iconic ones, but I think that's a really catchy name.
I will give credit to Sean Ward, who's the guy who ended up coming up with the name. He had thought of it for a while, and he kind of explained it as if it came to him in a dream, and which kind of works out perfectly. And yeah, no, we think it's fitting. It's that's what we're doing. We're trying to turn our dreams into some sort of reality.
that man definitely had a dream that he was landscaping his gaff, and that's where it came from.
Yeah, that's what I'm sure.
That's it. That's the story now. That's what you tell people, and
That's
that's
it.
how it works.
Yeah, I'm writing it down right now.
You can credit me for that.
All right, deal.
No, but like setting up a production company. Obviously, you and a friend went not even separate ways, but just what professionally separate.
Yeah, he was a bit older than me. I was probably in my mid-20s at the time, and he was 40. And he had just had a child, and it became kind of clear that we were just going in separate directions. I wanted to start investing more money into these things, and he didn't, and I totally understand. He wanted to be a weekend warrior and, shoot stuff on the weekend, goes to work,
That's
does his
great.
job. Yeah, of course. And having filmmaking as a hobby is probably the best decision, because otherwise it takes over your life, and it has taken over my life for a long time. I'm lucky that, like I said, been my career, but for a while I was working a full-time job, and then I'd be working this, which is my full-time job too. So it's, you're putting in 80 hours trying to make this dream a reality and also trying to pay the bills. So I get it. He was a smart man for bailing on it. And I hope he still makes stuff. I haven't talked to him for a while, but he's a very nice guy.
Oh, that's cool. Well, at least it wasn't a horror breakup that you hear of some kinds. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it was just a drifting apart, type of
Right.
thing. And like I said, we were just two different places in our lives, and especially with our creative lives.
Well, I mean, like, so on you go. Then you've set up your production company. So tell us about your first movie then.
Yeah, so I set up But It Did Happen Productions years ago, and that my first movie, which But It Did Happen, is from Magnolia, and our first movie was a movie called Scarlet K, which was like $1,000 feature where I had just read that Lloyd Kaufman book, Make Your Own Damn Movie. And I said, you know what, I think we can make a trauma movie right now pretty well. And we could do it. Well, let's do it with my sensibilities, which I was really obsessed with, like Richard Linklater at that time. So I was like, let's combine the two. And so I made that movie Scarlet K, and then we went on to make some shorts. And then we did a feature called Everwinter Night, which was our biggest movie yet, which is now streaming on Tubi and Amazon Prime and all that type of stuff. And then most recently we made Round the Decay, which is our biggest project yet.
Yeah, shout out to Screambox there for hooking us up with this interview. Um,
Yeah,
for Round the Decay, we reached
yeah.
out to them, and this kind of came around quite quickly, actually.
Oh, it's great. Yeah,
Um,
Alex is great.
yeah, Alex is sound.
Yeah,
I've been in contact with him quite a bit, so shout out to
good dude.
Alex there
Yeah,
in Screenbox.
yeah, absolutely.
um, but as I said to you off screen, unfortunately we don't have Tubi, so I haven't had a chance to check out Ever Last Night. Not yet, anyway.
Yeah.
But tell us a little bit about that one. If that was your big feature.
Yeah. So Everwinter Night, it's the story of these two childhood friends, Maddie and V, and they're getting back together after college, and they were childhood best friends, but they're kind of losing touch with each other. And so they set up to go to an Airbnb so that they can kind of rekindle their friendship. But it's hijacked by Maddie's two college friends, and they end up going instead to the ski lodge where there's these very wealthy men who kind of pamper them for the weekend, and over each of the nights, things get darker and darker and weirder and weirder. And so, yeah, that's the movie. It's kind of a horror comedy. It's a bit of a slow burn. It takes its time getting into it before we get into the action. But it came from, unfortunately, we're supposed to make a completely different movie, and right before the day before we were all meeting up, SAG shut us down because of the COVID situation, and so we lost probably about 40% of our actors. And so, yeah, so we kind of were back to the drawing board. And so the next night we just threw all of our ideas at the wall, and then we started boarding out a movie. And then we wrote within the next 2 days, we wrote about 60 pages. And then I wrote backwards, and my other writer, Chris Goodwin, he wrote forwards. And we tried to make a script work so that when we got all the actors into the location, we were able to shoot something that, you know, they had no idea what it was. We barely knew what it was, and we were kind of flying by the seat of our pants. And whenever we were finished a day of shooting, we'd have to go back to our rooms and continue writing.
Lovely. I'm just looking it up here to see to see what kind of reviews it has online at the minute.
Mm.
Um, I mean, it's not doing too bad. It's 4.9 out of 10 on IMDb.
Yeah, it's
Now,
been jumping all over the place. We do know that the our 10-star reviews on there because they assume that all of them are written by the filmmakers, which some of them are, but they assume that they're all fake. So we actually lost. We were up in the sevens, and then all of a sudden we woke up one day and we were dropped, and we went, "Oh God, that's rough." The reviews have been solid. We are hearing some things from horror people, which is that some people say it's a little bit too slow for them. And listen, I can't fault it. Movies are subjective. Um, but the outpouring from the people who have liked it has been, incredible.
well, as I said, to you, I'll check it out. Alex has sent me a screen to it. I don't like doing stuff illegally, so
No, thank you for not.
yeah. Not that I
Yeah,
could find it over here anyway, but
right, right.
um,
We'll, we'll get you a
it's a bit
screener.
touchy. It's a bit touchy, especially when like you're taking time out of your day to come on, and I'd be like, oh yeah, I illegally streamed your movie. You know,
Yeah, that's
um,
fair.
yeah, that's not what we're about here.
Right. Well, I'm glad
Um,
that you'll check it out, and we'll make sure to get you a screener.
Absolutely, and then
Yeah.
obviously we move into how we hooked up on this one was Screambox sent out the trailer for Round the Decay.
Yeah, that's right. So that's our newest movie. Luckily, we got to actually film the movie that we wanted to, which was great. But it's a horror movie. It's a monster movie. It's less of a comedy. There's some dark comedy there, but yeah, no, it's a monster movie that it was filmed in Waterville Valley, New Hampshire. It's a story of this young woman named Kenzie who returns to this place called Newport's Valley, where years ago a tragedy happened with her and her fiance. And when she goes back, she kind of meets this eclectic cast of characters. But in the process, they end up kind of finding out this big secret that the town's had for years and then kind of unleashing it on the town.
Deadly.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
very similar to oh, I can't think of the name of the movie now. I had it in my head and I can't. It's just gone. Um, I can't remember. It's
I'm
I've
curious though.
seen it. Not obviously that, but like
Mm,
you see it in a few films.
mm,
Where they go back to towns after a tragedy.
yeah, certainly.
Um, and
Yeah, no,
and
absolutely. I was, inspired by things like Salem's Lot, which is, the book, when it's about a writer who goes back to town and remembers, that horrifying house that he had. It's kind of inspired by stuff like that.
Salem's Lot's just a phenomenal movie,
Yeah, oh yeah,
TV
absolutely.
miniseries, whatever the fuck they wanted to call it.
Yeah, no,
It
absolutely. I
was
know they remade it recently, but I haven't seen it, and it's a shame
it,
because I
it,
always
it
wanted to
hasn't
be
it
the
hasn't
one.
got out.
Yeah, and it seems like it's been in production hell, which is a shame because I would have been fine directing that movie. If they want to do it again, I'm absolutely willing.
Well, as far as I know myself and our other co-host Ian have been I've been tracking it quite thing, and he's been waiting very patiently for it. He loves the original one now. He wouldn't be mad on remakes,
Right.
but this is looking like it's going to be decent. It's been pushed back enough so that it's done properly, but
Good. That's what we want to hear.
it just seems to be sitting in limbo now.
Yeah, which is I'm hoping it's just because and not because it's bad. I'm hoping it's because there's a production switch or something along those lines. But fingers crossed it comes out and is good.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the last I heard it's going to be November time, but
Oh, perfect.
I would be skeptical about that myself because are they going to run it that close to the build up for Nosferatu, which is due out
Oh, right.
Christmas Eve?
Yeah, that's a good point. So who
So
knows?
now
Yeah.
I'm not the money man that's going to make that decision, but I
Right.
don't know if it'd be my wisest choice to run it against something like that. But
Yeah, that's fair.
that's for someone else to make that decision. I mean, they
Sure,
could put it out
sure.
next week and I'm gonna watch it. They could put
Yeah.
it out 2 days before Christmas and I'm gonna
I'm
watch
gonna
it.
watch.
I'm
Yeah, of
going to
course.
watch both of them anyway. So,
Yeah, same, same.
but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Having read the review and I sent it into the group chat to the lads and we watched the trailer and we were very impressed with it.
Thank you.
The lads were unfortunate that they couldn't be here tonight.
Mm,
Uh, but yeah, we're really looking forward to it. I do like the all gothic style horrors.
yeah, well, great.
Um, Now, I will say I was one of the ones. If it wasn't for King, I wouldn't have went back and watched The Witch.
Yep.
So the very first time I watched that, I fucking hated it.
Really? Okay.
I thought it was terrible.
Sure, sure.
And he got on to me and he's like, nope, you need to go and watch it again. So I actually went and watched it properly, where I put my phone down, I sat and I watched it in the dark. And I was like, yeah,
Yeah, the
yeah,
movie rules. It's great.
yeah.
It's this. I felt the same way. It's kind of like it's another slow burn where the first hour of it, you're still trying to figure out where you are and get your footing. But that ending is such a banger. It's so
I
good.
mean,
Yeah.
like even for up until the last 15 minutes, it's like it's slow.
Yeah, oh, certainly. It takes its
And
time.
then
Yeah.
it just ignites. But the casting for that and everything was just brilliant.
Oh, absolutely.
Uh,
Anya and or Anna, sorry, Anna Taylor-Joy, and then and of course
she's
Ralph
just
Ineson. Yeah.
she's just phenomenal.
Yeah. Oh, she's blown up since, and yeah,
Yeah.
for good reason.
I mean, I'm thinking about it now. Maybe I was growing up. I wasn't a fan of Gothic style because I didn't like The Village either.
I love The Village. I love that
So
movie.
up until late last year, I'd only seen it the once in the cinema in 2004. I was 13
Okay.
going to see it in the cinema.
Sure, sure.
My uncle, he lives in London, brought me to the cinema to see Dodgeball,
Okay. Great.
and sorry, no, he brought me to see The Village, and it broke halfway through.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Right, so I had
Gotcha.
to start it again. So
Gotcha.
instead of the movie being in 2 hours, it took like 3 hours.
Because you had to re
Yeah, because
That's
you know,
crazy.
obviously in the cinema you can't just go to that one part.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Right, but we got free tickets and I ended up going to see Dodgeball, but I came out of the cinema fucking hating it.
I kind of understand that because I kind of felt disappointed by it, but I've seen it since several times, and I think it
But
really grew on me.
I always went through and I was like, I'm not watching it again, I'm done. But one of the
Mm,
other lads that I worked with, he was like, just watch it, just go and watch it. So I came home and watched it. And I was just like, yeah, like you know what's gonna happen, obviously, but
of course.
just watching it was phenomenal. The casting in it was unbelievable.
Yeah, I think that's a movie that actually might benefit from you knowing what it is so that you kind of just settle in and deal with the tone and the mood and the atmosphere and the characters, like you said. So
Mm.
if you ignore that it's the twist aspect of all of the movie, if you just put that aside, I think the movie really works.
Now, I'm gonna ask you a question, and this is what we like to do. We throw out some random ones.
Yeah,
If you
please.
had to pick one M. Night Shyamalan movie, what would it be?
Oh, this is even a question for me. Because I actually have seen every one except for Trap because it came out yesterday or today. Um,
Meant to be very good too.
I hope so. I do hope so. My favorite by a mile, probably. And I like things like Sixth Sense and I like The Village, but Unbreakable is my favorite. It's one of
Ooh,
my 10 all-time favorite movies, I'd say. I love that movie.
nice. It's a
Yeah.
good show. I haven't seen that in so long. I
It's
went
so
through the
good.
I went through the rewatch of his movies, obviously when I watched The Village, and I
Sure.
got to that trilogy and I just won't watch it.
Really?
I really, really don't like James McAvoy.
Oh, interesting.
Like,
Okay.
I don't know why. He's a
Yeah,
phenomenal actor.
I was
I
gonna
just
say
don't
he's
like him.
great. Yeah. No,
I have an issue. Like, we have another show called Retrotainment Recast where we recast old movies with actors of today,
sure. It's
and we
fun.
do it like a game show, right?
Sure.
And there's a couple of actors that I just detest. James
You know,
McAvoy is one.
it's so funny because me and my friends we play this game and it's called I'm Out and we can't explain it, but we'll just say the actor's name and go, I'm out. I don't know what like it, and I have the same thing about I hate saying this because one day it'd be amazing if I worked with him, of course, but I'm so out on Ryan Reynolds. I've always been out on Ryan Reynolds. He does not do it for
See,
me. I feel
I
the
know a
same
lot.
way.
I know a lot of people that are like that. They just don't like that style. Like my
Sure.
mom
That's it. Yeah.
hates Jim Carrey.
Oh, that's so
Right?
sad to hear.
I know a lot of people that hate the likes of Will Ferrell and things.
Sure. Yeah, no, I know what you
Like,
mean. Yep.
one
Yep.
of one of the co-hosts on Retro Seven Recast hates Will Ferrell. Hates him.
Really.
Uh,
It's
and
it's weird because it's just always something like you said about McAvoy. You can't even put your finger on it. You know he's good. You know
uh,
he's talented, but for some reason you're out,
and
you know?
the female version of James McAvoy, I fucking hate Judy Greer. I hate her.
I
I
love
hate her.
I love that you call him the female James McAvoy.
I
Um,
hate her. I
really?
legitimately hate her. I don't know
Really?
why.
Yeah,
I
I was
just
gonna
don't know.
say.
I must have been the only person in the cinema when I went to see Halloween Kills when she got stabbed at the end going, Yes,
I think Judy Greer's a lovely lady. So
fuck her up.
that's
No,
great though. That's great.
um,
Wait. I do need to know first though. Like, what's your M Night pick?
Signs
Oh, that's a great pick. It's a great
all
pick.
day,
Science is
every
great.
day.
Yeah,
I
science is
love
great.
Sixth Sense,
Sure.
and stuff, but no, Signs all day.
I the scene in which when Mel Gibson he's talking about signs with and it's in the darkness and you kind of see the light reflecting on him with Joaquin Phoenix. I've stolen that shot in so many of my movies because it is so damn good. So I completely agree with you. Science rules. It's not unbreakable to me, but man, now that you the early M Night Shyamalan rank was good. It was really good. He had a good
He was
window. Yeah,
he was shit hot.
yeah. Oh, absolutely. I love that. But yeah,
Um,
his newer stuff I haven't been as wild about, but yeah, that early
eh,
stage is yeah, good stuff.
those first three or four that he made were just off the
Oh,
charts.
yeah, absolute bangers.
Hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but like, it's just it is what it is. Like you can see those kind of movies, the gothic ones. Obviously, going back, we divulged into other stuff there.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, the gothic style has to be a slow burn. There's no point in making it
Yeah, absolutely.
lightning quick. So I'm intrigued to see how you've gone with it when
Mm.
Round the Decay actually comes out.
Well, thank
Um,
you. Yeah.
I
It is another slow burn. You know, we do it's a little bit quicker than Everwinter Night is, that's for sure. But, you know, I always say that movies aren't what happens, it's who they happen to. And so we want to really make sure that we establish the characters and establish the world. And if for a moment it threatens you to be like, oh, I don't know if I need to know this about somebody, but if at the ending it makes you emotional or makes you feel something, then the work was worth it, you know?
well, I done an interview a while back with the cast of Black Mass.
Oh, cool. Okay. Are you talking about the Devanny Pin
Not
movie?
yeah,
Yeah, okay, cool. Sarah Nicklin is a friend. She's in the movie and
yeah.
she's in Everwinter Night and she's in Around the Decay.
uh,
So that's great. Okay.
Um, but we had a few of them on, and we were talking about it, and I was like, normally it doesn't matter what horror film I'm watching, I'm
Mm.
rooting for the killer,
Okay. That's great.
100%. And I found myself about 20 minutes in going, I'm not sure I should be rooting for the killer because it's a true story.
Right. Oh, that's
And I
fair.
was like,
I
I
do
was
got to
like,
check that movie out.
oh, it's so good,
I've
so
heard it's
good.
really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really glad to hear
Um,
it.
we've had Eva Hamilton on the show before,
Sure.
who's in it and in every other deadly movie ever, because she's awesome.
Yeah. Sure. That's great.
And then we had Devaney, and I think there was six or seven others on that night.
Oh, that's
Um,
amazing.
yeah.
I
But
haven't met Devanny yet, but I've heard she's awesome to work with.
she's lovely to talk to too. She's
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
full of energy.
Yeah, no, I'm not surprised at all. I've heard she's kind of I've heard about her for years. And I've heard that she's, you know, Scream Queen and all that type of stuff. So, you know, I follow her on Instagram and I do hope we get to work with her one day.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I've seen her, and I haven't spoke to her for this, and I watched a couple of movies, and I was like, oh look, there she
It's
is.
her.
There she
Is it?
is. There she
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, always. Yeah.
She just pops up. But
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, like I'd always root for the killer. But when a movie can change your mind,
Mm,
you're doing something right.
exactly. I
So
agree.
if it can get you to feel, if a movie can get you to feel
Exactly.
something, it's done its job in some way. Whether you like it or you've walked out going, I don't know if I enjoyed that or not. I'd have to give it a
Yeah.
second watch.
I do love that. I love a lot of movies that do that where it makes you feel almost uncomfortable with what you just felt. It doesn't mean like oftentimes I'll come out of a movie that I really liked, but I didn't enjoy it because it was an unpleasant experience, but it worked. It made me feel things. It made me question what's going on with myself or what's going on in the world or what's going on with that character. And then over time you kind of go, wow, that the fact that it affected me so, it has to be considered a good
Black
movie, you know?
Black Mass is one of those.
It is.
It's
Okay, great.
it's not an enjoyable movie, but it's a very good movie. It's a hard thing because
Yeah,
obviously it's a true
yeah,
story.
right.
True
I have it on
stories
my
are,
queue.
true stories are relatively hard.
Mm,
Um, Another one that I done that left me like that. I don't know. You have Amazon Prime. It's called The American Ripper.
I've heard of it. Okay.
Yeah, Chuck
It's good.
Marangello. Yeah.
It's
Oh yeah.
good. Yeah.
It makes you uncomfortable. It's good. It's that
I
good.
love that. Yeah. All right, it's going on my queue
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But obviously they're the two movies that you have out at the minute. Well, one out and one due out.
Yeah.
So before we close up, we'll run a few Q&A questions about other
Oh,
movies.
please.
Give me your top five horror.
Oh God, now you're killing me. Top five horrors. Top five horror is a very tough one too, because
They
this is going to
change.
be well, and it's also this going to sound criminal. I did not get into horror until I was probably 30. I was as a kid, I was afraid of everything, and so horror movies. I remember my dad had the movie Creep Show on,
Great
and
movie.
yeah, and there's a one I can't remember what the name of it is, but there's bugs. This guy eats and bugs burst out of him. And
Oh
I
yeah.
saw that and I said, I will never watch another horror movie again. That is the grossest thing I've ever seen. I was terrified. So I'm playing a lot of catch up when it comes to horror movies. I can certainly give, as I've been filibustering here. I've come up with a few.
You're
I have to
stalling.
Yes, exactly. I have to say, because the movie that got me into horror movies was It Follows. I saw it in the theater and I went, "Oh, okay, I'm enjoying the feeling of being a little bit scared." And so that's
Okay.
when I said, "You know what? I'm going to get into horror movies. I'm going to watch these a lot more." And I started pounding them. Um, I mean, I love the movie Get Out. If we consider that a horror movie, you're not a fan.
Oh.
I can tell you're not a fan.
Remember how I said I hate McAvoy and I hate Judy Greer?
Yeah.
I hate Jordan Peele more than anybody else in
Oh,
Hollywood.
no way. Do you
He's an
as a filmmaker
awful,
or as a person?
oh, he's an awful director. Awful.
Oh boy. Oh, I
Get
see.
Out is. I watched that going over to Florida on my honeymoon, and I wanted to
Sure.
walk off the plane. It was fucking 2 hours of dribble,
See,
and
I'm a big fan.
everyone was like, oh, it's groundbreaking. Yes, it won an Oscar for best screenplay. I don't know how, but
Hey, that's fair.
fuck me.
They're subjective. I love Get Out. I do not like Us or Nope though. I was not a big fan of
Ah,
either of those.
two
Yeah.
more piles of shite.
Yeah, not a big fan. Obviously the Thing. I love the movie The Thing. I find
Greatest remake ever made.
Yes. You're not talking about the 2013 one, though, are you? You're talking about the actual thing, right?
Well, 2011 is a prequel.
2011. That's what I mean. Yeah, that's what. Oh, that's right. It's prequel. That's right. Okay.
Yeah, which is also
So
very good.
I've heard it's actually okay. I know that they said that the CGI is not super strong, and that originally they did practical effects and then they CGI'd over them or whatever, which is silly. But the thing absolutely rules. I'm a big fan of that. Uh, I mean, I really enjoy because I recently watched Pumpkinhead because it's got
What a movie.
people. Yeah, and so people were, my buddy who he said after as I was writing Round the Decay, he goes, "This kind of reminds me of Pumpkinhead," and I hadn't seen it yet, so he said, "Just go and check it out." And so I put on Pumpkinhead, and especially the first 30 minutes. That is a banger
It's
of an
gold,
opening.
isn't it?
Yeah, and they do such a good job of setting up character, and you completely understand why Lance Henriksen makes the decision that he makes. Um, I don't like the second half nearly as much as I like that first 30 minutes, but it's a really, really fun movie. And then, oh God, I mean, I'm being put on the spot. The first Scream is incredible. I do not like the other Screams, but I do like the first one
Ooh. Now
quite a bit.
that's a controversial one there, not liking the rest of them.
They're they're all the damn same. I'm just getting sick and tired of watching Ghostface stab people. It's boring to me, and I'm gonna say I just don't care about what happens to Sydney. Nev Campbell's a great actress. I just don't care. I don't care. And so the fun part of Scream is when Ghostface falls down the stairs. That's my favorite parts of those movies. They're fine. They're totally fine, but one is incredible. That like
One with that opening scene of
oh, it's
killing Drew
so good.
Barrymore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so
So
good.
I'll give you a quick funny one about that. So lockdown hit, and everyone was obviously watching everything.
Sure.
Right. So I sat down to watch Scream, and I texted the lads, and I was like, obviously knew the premise of it, and I was like, I was sitting watching it. I always thought I'd seen them all.
Mm.
Turns out I'd never seen any of them.
That's amazing.
Up till what, 21 or 22, 20, whenever the first lockdown hit, March,
Sure.
Paddy's Day time, I watched them all, and I was like, fuck, I've never seen any of these. If I
And
have,
how
I don't remember any of them.
did you like them?
Oh yeah, Loved them.
Yeah, you did. You did. Okay.
Loved them. All of them.
Are you like
Uh,
slashers in general?
oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah,
I'll
I could
show
tell.
you. So
Oh wow, okay.
that's Jeepers Creepers.
That's great.
I've got Freddy. I've got Jason.
Okay. You definitely that's fair. I
And
finally
then
did see this Jeepers Creepers recently
we have
too.
we have the bracelet.
Oh, that's great. Okay.
Uh,
Very cool.
Jeepers Creepers is phenomenal as well.
I didn't like it.
You didn't like it?
I didn't. I wanted to. I love the opening again because I'm a big Justin Long fan. Um,
How this podcast would have been ended if you weren't.
yeah, no, he's amazing. We attempted to reach out to him for Round the Decay. We did reach out to his agent. We got nothing back, believe it or not. But we wanted him for one. There's a 1 day part. And we're like, if we could get somebody like Justin Long in there, it would be amazing. Just unfortunately didn't happen. But he's incredible. Yeah, but Jeepers Creepers, I don't know what it is about it. It was fine, but it just kind of left me cold. I didn't feel much towards it.
Now, subconsciously, is that to do with the director? And I'm not getting into what it is on screen because that's a debate for a different day. I'm just asking you, in your own head,
I
could
don't
that
know.
have played a factor?
It always can. I do think that that's the case with every movie, though. Sometimes it's funny because if I watch a movie, it's it's a strange thing, but sometimes when a movie starts and I go, "Oh, I'm in good hands," you can just feel the director. You can feel that he's good. You know what he's doing. He understands why he's moving the camera, understands why they go to a close up. When I see an insert, I go, that's an important piece of information and it pays off. So it's hard to say when it comes to Jeepers Creepers. Maybe it is. I don't know. I had seen the second one before I saw the first one. Maybe that has something to do with it too.
Second one's awesome. I
Yeah,
love the
the
second
second
one.
one is so silly, but in a very fun way. And then I don't know. It also could always be your headspace too. Like I went in on the day. Maybe I didn't want to watch the movie, and I tried to watch the movie, and it's very tough to say because I think movies are so based off of what you're feeling like going into it.
Okay. Let's see. Quick fire then. We'll go John Carpenter or Wes Craven.
Carpenter, definitely,
Okay.
definitely. That's an easy one too.
Do you know what? Up until a couple of years ago, I never really thought about it. It was always Wes Craven because he made
Really?
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Sure, that's fair.
Right? Nightmare on Elm Street was the first horror film I ever seen.
Yep.
It's still my favorite horror film, and it's in probably my top 10 films of all time.
Sure, sure. That makes sense.
Hence the big huge Freddy tattoo on my arm.
Right, right, right.
Right? Um, I've come to the realization that Carpenter is the better director.
Okay,
Right?
I'll allow
But
that.
Wes Craven is the better character creator.
Okay, that's fair, especially for you're talking about for like villains too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I'll give you that.
so obviously creating Freddy is the slasher that saved slashers.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
So I mean, he's also the character that saved New Line Cinema, which
Yes,
gave
that
us
is
some of the
true.
best film, which gave us some of the best films ever in the likes of Lord of the Rings and stuff.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
Um,
Love that.
Obviously Carpenter had Halloween,
Yep, yep.
but I'm taking Freddy over Michael all day.
That's fair. I'll
Yeah.
give you that. That's for sure.
Yeah. As for Jason, he can just get to the bottom of the list somewhere along the way.
Yeah, I'm not a big Friday the 13th
Mm.
guy. Yeah,
No, me either.
yeah.
King is a huge Texas Chainsaw fan,
I'm not. I feel bad. I'm
and
not. I'm not.
the amount of arguments that me and that man have had, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm in the boat that the 2003 one is better than the original.
I have not seen the 2003 one, but okay, I'll
The,
listen to the argument certainly.
the Jessica Biel one,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know about it. I
it's
remember. Yeah.
it's so good.
Is it really? I know it's
Oh yeah,
super graphic, where the first one it's very clearly low budget, the original.
the original one's fantastic up until the
Mm,
dinner scene, and then I lose all interest.
really? Okay,
When
that's
she
interesting.
starts screaming and the granddad comes back to life, I'm just like, I'm out. I'm done. I'm out.
Well, I was out sooner in that movie than you, I think, because it really did not work for me.
That's fair.
Yeah, yeah.
I can understand. Like a lot of people don't like it, but like I
It's
have a lot of
again,
hot takes.
I caught it so late in life too. It's like it wasn't a movie that affected me when I was a
and
kid. I
and
saw
the
it when I was
fact that there's about
32.
20 of them.
There's always that too. It's the same thing I feel about like The Shining. I find there's a lot of thunder.
You're gonna you're gonna say bad about The Shining here?
I do not like The Shining. I do not at all. And
Have have you seen the Tommy Lee Wallace one?
I have not seen. That's the one that Stephen King gave the approval to, right?
Yeah,
I have not seen that one.
that's very good too.
Is it? So
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I know King was not I'm not a big fan of the Kubrick one. Sometimes a director you just don't get along with them.
I
Kubrick
think that's
movies
what that
always
is.
leave me, yeah, like Kubrick leaves me very cold with everything. And so I had a hard time embracing any of the characters in The Shining. And also I had seen The Simpsons parody it so many times that nothing was funny anymore, I mean, or nothing was
All
scary
work
anymore.
and no
So
play make Homer go something
something,
something.
something. Go great. Don't mind if I do. Uh, yeah, no. And so it was a tough one because The Shining wasn't a big thing in my childhood. It was something that I came to later, and I had already seen it parodied so many times, and it's tough to come out of that.
Right. American Werewolf in London or Dog Soldiers?
I've seen neither.
Whoa. Whoa.
They're both on my queue.
What
I've never
werewolf
seen
movies
either.
have you seen?
Oh God, trying to think if I've what ones have I seen besides like Werewolves Within.
That was awful.
Yeah, I like
Awful.
the film I like the filmmaker, but I don't like that movie as much because I really liked his movie Scare Me. Um,
I watched that
and
with my missus. We went on a weekend away and we had Netflix on it and down there and we watched it. And
wasn't
we
for
were
you.
staying we were staying in a tree house kind of set out in the forest thing and I was just sitting there going, shoot me.
It does focus. It's not a horror movie. It's
No,
mostly a comedy. Yeah. I mean, if you want to count Trick or Treat, there's the
Trick
werewolf
or Treat,
section of it.
fantastic.
Yeah, that movie was. It's a tough movie for me to watch. Oh, you got it. Oh, that's sweet. That's so
Yeah.
great.
I met
That's
Quinn
it.
Lord last year as well.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I like Trick or Treat quite a bit. It's a tough one for me to rewatch because, see, this is the thing. I'm very particular about some types of gore that I cannot watch. Has an Achilles cut in it, and I am out on Achilles cuts. So, but I do really enjoy that movie, which I
You,
guess
de-
has
you
werewolf
definitely need to
elements.
watch Pet Cemetery.
That's why I haven't seen it because I know about it. Oh, my
Oh, it's
Achilles are
bad.
getting sore thinking about it. Yeah,
Oh, it's bad.
yeah, I
That
buy
one is
it.
bad. What's the other one? House of Wax has a really good one in
Yeah,
it.
I've heard about that because my wife is a big fan of House of Wax.
Yeah, I only rewatched it for the first time since about 2005 when it came out there, probably about 2 weeks ago.
Is it good?
I was like, okay. I don't know
Yeah.
where everyone goes off on it being amazing, but it's
Right.
okay.
Right. Right.
Give me the Vincent Price one any day.
Sure.
But I mean, it's not bad.
Right.
It's got a
Maybe
big
one day.
cast too.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Obviously, Jared Padalecki is in it now, and he's gone on to become a
Supernatural and whatnot. Yeah.
yeah. I
Yeah.
only started watching that as well then, probably about 6 months ago with the wife.
I haven't seen any of it. My buddy who's here right now is obsessed with it. It's one of his favorite shows. So he talks about it all the time.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
It just becomes repetitive. Like I'm 5.5 seasons in, and I'm like,
What's
oh,
the
okay.
I think it feels like it's like I think it's like 10 seasons or something like that too. It's insane,
More than
right?
that, I think 15 or
Oh
something.
God, it's
I
insane.
I can already tell you, I'm probably not going to get to the end of it.
Well, my buddy told me that they've run out of ideas and they're very aware of it. They're making episodes about how they have no ideas. So, yeah, it sounds like they went off the deep end.
Well, I think there are two that you need to go and watch: American Werewolf
Okay.
in London
No,
and
I
Dog Soldiers.
know I'll put them both on my list for sure.
We actually had the director of Dog Soldiers on, Neil Marshall,
Oh, no way. Neil
last year.
Marshall
Yeah,
he did The Descent too, right?
he did. Yeah,
He did. Okay,
and
gotcha,
Hellboy
gotcha.
and stuff.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, right. The first Hellboy, right? The which is the
No,
Ron Perlman one.
no. So
He
he
didn't
done the new remake one.
with David Harbour.
Yeah,
Oh, I never saw the David Harbour one. Was it
I
good?
don't like I don't like Hellboy, so
Yeah. Oh, okay. I was gonna
I
say
didn't watch it.
I like the original with Ron Perlman. It was okay. But I never
Most of
got
that
around
was
to seeing
filmed.
the others.
Most I think the second one was all filmed in Ireland as well.
Oh, was it? I'm not surprised. That's great.
Yeah. But let's see. I'll give you one or two more.
Yeah, please do. I like
Um,
this.
what's your favorite subgenre of horror?
Oh God. Favorite subgenre of horror. So what do you consider the subgenres? You're talking about like slasher, you're talking about paranormal, you're talking about
Yeah.
stuff like that. I mean, do we count slow burn? Does that count? Because that would be my go-to.
I'd be more slow burns for me. Normally psychological.
Then it's probably got to be psychological. That would probably be
Okay.
my go-to. I like things that take their time and set up character and then make me feel unsettled towards
S-
the end.
Silence of
I
the Lambs.
Yeah, stuff like that. But I also do, and it's funny because I kind of like the opposite side. I kind of like things that are really fun. I like silly things. I like, the Evil Dead movies, and I like Tucker and Dale, and I like stuff like that where they play around
Nice.
with horror tropes and stuff like that. I'm not a big fan if it gets too self-aware. Though I do like things like Cabin in the Woods and whatnot. But there's a
Cabin in the Woods.
level. You
I worked in a video shop when Cabin in the Woods came out,
Sure,
and it was billed as the next big horror movie.
sure.
And I'm telling everyone there, yeah, it's a new horror movie out. People are coming back going mad at me over it, and I'm like, what more do you want from me?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
it's not scary. I said it's not supposed to be scary.
yeah. Exactly. It's supposed to be
I
fun.
says it's showing you. I says the guy made Buffy.
Yeah,
I says,
exactly.
what
It's in the
did you
same tone.
expect to come from this? And people
Right.
were hating on it. I fucking love it.
It's a fun movie. I put it on the other day. It's great. It's great
Yeah,
because we have a mutual friend who's friends with Frank Franz, the guy who plays the stoner in it, and he was another guy we reached out to potentially work with. Yeah, Cabin in the Woods is great. I like that kind of thing. My wife is really really into like she likes trashy horror movies. She loves things that have like silly gore and are silly and nobody's taking themselves seriously. So I watch a lot of those too, and I can get
yeah.
on board with some of them for sure.
I do like that when you don't like. That's the best thing with horror. If it takes itself seriously and does it properly, it's great.
Yep.
If it takes the piss out of itself, it's
It's
great.
great too. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And
There's no logic to it.
yeah, and that's what it's great because you get subgenres within subgenres and stuff like that when it comes to horror. And also what I love about horror is that you can talk about a lot of things that you would talk about in a drama movie, but people will think is boring. You can talk about
Yeah,
a breakup in a horror movie, but you put a monster in there and people are into it. So that's what I do love about the genre.
I'm a big creature feature guy now. I will say,
Oh, good. Well, then hopefully Round the Decay will be up your alley.
like if you were to ask me, that'd be my favorite subgenre of horror.
Oh, great. Well, this is
Yeah.
going to be right up there for you. I do like creature features as well, especially if you get me a good monster. I'll watch a monster destroy things all damn
D-
day.
doesn't even have to be a monster. I'm big on the all animal ones.
Oh, really? Okay.
So Jaws,
I mean, Jaws rules. Everybody, yeah, Jaws.
yeah,
And Jaws is one of
just
those movies you come back to, and I'm always like, oh yeah, I remember Jaws was good, and then you put it on, you're like, no, 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 Jaws is the best. You don't get how good Jaws is.
we were on holidays last year. We were in Puerto Rico in the Gran Canaries,
Sure.
right? And we had the two kids, so they were in bed early, and me and herself fell asleep, and then she woke up, and I was flicking through the channels, and Jaws was just starting,
Mm,
right? So I was like, okay, perfect, Jaws, laughing,
right on. Yep.
watched it. My mom and dad the next morning, oh, we're going to the beach. I was like, the hell we are. I don't I don't like the beach in general.
Same, same.
But we went down to the beach, and next thing you know, there was an alarm raised that a kid was missing. I was like, I've seen this before. Right. So we get back to the hotel that night. Everyone's knackered because of the sun and everything.
Sure.
Flicking through the channels. Jaws was just starting again. I was like, all right. And
That's great.
She woke up just as Quint was getting eaten.
No, that's
And she's like,
perfect.
are you watching Jaws again? And I was like, yeah. I says, if it's on, you don't turn it off.
Yeah, that is very true. It is
And
very much one of those movies.
2 days later, Jaws was on again.
And you put it on again because it's so
I
damn
did.
good. It's so worth it. Yeah,
I
absolutely.
did.
I agree.
But
I agree.
just before we finish up, I'll give you a funny one. I was watching USS Indianapolis, the
Hmm.
Nicolas Cage movie,
Sure.
right? And my missus came in and she's like, "What are you watching?" I was telling her, and she turned around and was like, What happened to the USS Indianapolis?" And I was like, "This is it. This is my time." And
I get to do it.
I
I get to
repeated
do
the whole thing,
it. That's so
that whole
good.
speech that Quint had, and I was like, "Yes." And
Perfect. That's so
she's
great.
like, "How do you just know that?" And I was like, "It's from Jaws."
Yeah.
And she's like, is that actually legitimate?" And I was like, "Yeah,
That's great.
like
That's so
yeah,
good.
legitimate." I was like, I never walked off as happy. I was like, "Du, du, du,
Oh,
du."
that's great.
you now know what happened to the USS Indianapolis. So,
It's awesome.
no, that might be the best monologue in horror history.
Oh, it's so good. It might be the best monologue in movie history. It's so
It
good.
could well be, yeah,
Yeah,
could
yeah,
well
it's
be.
very good stuff.
Uh, but I think we'll leave it there for the evening.
Great.
Um, Folks, you'll expect to see Adam again once Round the Decay actually comes out. We'll have
I
him
love
on, and I'll pick the movie apart and see what happens.
that. Please do. I'd love to
Uh,
talk about it.
Absolutely, we'll have you back on.
Great.
Probably near the end of the year at this stage. You said, wasn't it?
Yeah, October is when we're planning on premiering, but we're expecting a theatrical in January, so it'd be great to come back and chat.
January,
January, that's the goal. Yeah.
all the way in Boston.
Well, our premiere will be in October in Boston, but in January, our expectation is that we'll be across the United States. And if things go well with the sales agent and with the distributor and all those things, maybe we'll even be over there in the UK. That'd be great. Or
Uh,
over near where you are. Yeah.
yeah, I'm not in the UK.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're not the UK. That's right. I always get the UK confused, but I know that you don't have Tubi, which is a shame. But we'll come over to you guys and fingers crossed. We can have a
If it
wider
makes it this
release.
far, if it makes it this far, and you're having a premiere, we expect an invite.
Yeah, no, you absolutely will get it. That's a promise.
Yeah, and the red carpet.
Right, there you go, exactly.
But Adam, it's been an absolute pleasure. And again, thanks for taking the time out of your mid-evening, afternoon.
Absolutely. It's perfect because it's just starting to rain now, so this is good.
Perfect timing.
Yeah,
What we'll do, folks, is I'll leave it the way I leave every single Friday night. In the words of the great George A. Romero, ladies and gentlemen, stay scared.